Core Dog's logo appears lit on a stage. Text scrolls by on the bottom, reading 1 week with a guide dog puppy. A white blonde woman in her late 20s speaks to camera.
Hello! So Chris and I have decided to be guide dog fosterers, and what this means is we are a home that the guide dogs in training, puppies in training, can go to if their puppy raiser isn't able to look after them for a period of time. So this might be if they're on holiday, if they have unexpected break they need to take. We are here and we have been vetted to be able to help keep the guide dogs in our home. Our landlord has okayed us to have one dog in the house. So we are all good to go, and we've got our first guide dog coming to us tomorrow, which we're very excited about, very nervous, very excited. So he is, I think, about 12 months old, and his puppy raisers are going on holiday, so they need someone to look after him, and we've got him for the week, so we're very excited. And I am just about to put the house together to kind of set up some barriers, set up kind of where he's going to be, that kind of thing, and putting some management strategies in place before the dog gets here so that we can just relax, let him freely get comfortable, and make sure that everything is in place for him.
She unfolds a folding gate in front of a living room. A green barrier sits in front of a kitchen.
We've got our kitchen here, and this is just going to be a nighttime setup thing. So, because we've got like the recycling bins here and stuff, and I just don't really want it to be a place that he's wandering around at night. So I've just put up one of these foam barriers that I use in my training classes. It's not like perfectly secure or anything like that. Like if he really wanted to knock it over, he could, but it's just more of a deterrent, really.
A colorful striped mat lays on the ground with a bowl on top.
It's like a giant picnic blanket thing. And you'll have food and water here. I put this out because it's actually quite cold right now. It's like sub-zero. And this tile is really cold, so I don't know. He might be like, oh, I'm not sure about going in there, so just something for his feet. If he doesn't need it, I'll pick it up, but just being nice.
She
So
continues
next I'm going
to
to
speak
tackle
to
this
camera.
table. It currently has all of our Christmas chocolate out, so that cannot stay there. Apparently he loves to sleep under the kitchen table. We don't have anything exactly like he does at home, but this has got the radiator right there. I'm just gonna make it a nice cozy corner, maybe move the chairs around. But yeah, I think that'll be a nice spot if he likes a little den style place. Okay.
She sat on the floor. It's evening.
I have not videoed
and she's
anything all
behind
day or
the
anything like that,
gated
'cause it's just been getting used to
living
having
room.
dog here. Bless him. He had a bit of a journey in with train cancellations and all of that kind of fun stuff. He can't go in the car because he gets sick, so he's had to endure public transport in Southwest London, which we know is an absolute joy. So he's had firsthand experience of that. I'm looking here because he is currently here. I will show you in a moment. But we're just relaxing after a very busy day. Yeah, it's been good. He settles so well. It was a bit hectic, this morning, and then Chris had to go to work. And I just chilled out, had a tea, did a bit of work on the couch, and he was immediately chilling where he wanted to, and seems comfortable with the bed setup that we've done under the table, which is great. A difficulty is that he prefers to go to the toilet on like grassy or non-hard surface, and our back is basically all patio pavement except for some bits around the sides. And that's usually good for guide dogs because they try and encourage the going on the pavement because you're not always going to have a green grassy spot. Struggles a bit with that, so he was holding some in for quite a while, and so our first walk together was a bit hectic, so that was the main focus, was just finding somewhere that he would be happy to go in. You have a little bit in the back where he did go a bit out there, but the other problem is he likes to pick up stones and sticks, which is in abundance in our backyard, so he just kept getting distracted by picking up and eating anything that was on the ground. And I have not done the gardening that needs to happen and the cleaning up in the back because it's been so gross and cold and wet, and I don't want to garden. So yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that he can get into. So yeah, it's just been like figuring each other out. Chris has been out at work all day, so yeah, he and I are just like, okay, what's the situation here? How do you function? How do we function together? Right now, it's going well. We are functioning very well because I'm tired, he's tired, and I mean, I'm losing out a little bit here because I have to sit on the floor, but he is very happy straddling himself on me. Yeah, sounds like he's pretty much fast asleep, which is good. We're gonna go and greet Chris when he comes back on the train, just for a little evening late night walk. It's a bit rambly, but I'm tired, as you can see. These are the realities that I wanted to experience of having a dog around. But I think what makes it harder than just like having your own dog around is the fact that you've got a dog that you don't know, who's in an environment that they don't know, with people they don't know. And I actually find it amazing how chill he is, considering how I know a lot of dogs would really struggle with that. So yeah, day one done. This is
A
our
golden
current setup.
lab lays across her legs
My
asleep.
leg is starting to get numb, but I'm not going to move it because I think he's very comfortable, and I'll probably just put something on the TV before I make my own dinner. But yeah, bless him.
Walking at night, a tall man with black hair walks the golden lab with a lead on a harness. The camera follows behind them. He occasionally treats the dog. The dog is nosing into the camera while a Hoover is on in the background. Tex reads, getting used to the Hoover and mop. The dog moves to the Hoover and looks at it curiously and is a bit unsure about the noise. He continues to stare at the Hoover. He comes closer to take a look as the Hoover moves around the floor. He stays close, following the Hoover and just watching and occasionally sniffing with his nose. Now, a Swiffer mop comes out. He continues to follow the mop, curiously watching while she mops the floor.
It's a bit more clean, huh? Yeah. Oh, big strands. Big strands. He's a good boy.
The dog looks at the camera, wagging his tail.
Boy. Look at that face.
Tex reads yoga and settle practice. A yoga mat is laid out with the dog on a settle mat next to it. She sits down and the dog gets up, so she encourages him back on the mat and rewards him when he lies down. She's on the yoga mat and he is on his settle mat. She starts the yoga practice and the video speeds up. The dog watches curiously and gets up at one point. She encourages him back down onto the settle mat. He lies back down and has a treat for his efforts. He gets up again, but she just encourages him back to the settle mat, where he lies down. She continues the yoga class and the video speeds up again. The dog stays lying down and eventually falls asleep. Another walk, now in the daytime. The dog has his nose to the ground.
It's the little rocks, isn't it?
The camera follows behind while the man is walking with the dog on his left side and rewarding him when he stops sniffing the ground. The dog is sat on her,
Do you have an update?
looking at the
Do
camera.
you have an update? Hendrix? I need to get up and do things. But you have decided that that is not going to be possible. Puppy. I don't want to disturb you. But I am covered in hair. And probably mud. And you are hurting my hip. And I would
The dog is
appreciate
asleep.
it if I could get up. No? Okay. No.
What's happening here? Is there cuddles happening?
The man is crouched down with the dog on his lap.
What's happening?
The dog won't move.
Who's that?
Andrew. No, he's on you now.
Oh, okay. Are we going down?
You
The
going
man
down?
moves to
Are
sit
we
down.
going down?
The dog follows, curling up on his lap, wagging his tail.
Oh. You gonna get yourself comfy? Yes.
Are we going down? We going all the way down? Do this before. Oh,
There you go.
The dog makes himself comfortable on the man's lap.
Oh, puppy. Just a little puppy.
The woman is now walking the dog along a busy road with cars running by and a loud leaf blower on the other side. She rewards him occasionally for walking nicely. The camera pans to the leaf blower that is blowing leaves into the street. Text reads, harness training. The woman is showing the dog a harness. When he moves towards it, when it's in her hand, she gives him a treat. It is a video that's slightly sped up, showing the dog moving away from the harness when she throws the treat away, and then towards it, touching it with his nose. She opens up the harness a bit more, letting it droop down from her hand. She then encourages him to put his head through the harness by having her hand hold treats on the other side of the harness loop. She rewards him when he puts his head through and then throws a treat away. He then walks back towards the harness, putting his head through and getting the treats. Text reads, a day out, exclamation point. The dog lies in the middle of a tube carriage. He's watching as people come by and occasionally looks up at the camera. Good job. The dog yawns and repositions himself as the train stops. She gives him a treat.
The gap between the train and the platform.
Text reads, screaming child warning. The dog is in a cafe, lying down beneath chairs and a table. The camera pans to a few prams And then back at the dog, who is lying down asleep while the kids are screaming. The dog is on a bus, looking a bit worried. Text reads, he did not like the bus. We just got off after this and took the train instead.
Down? Down?
The dog does not want to go in the down position and stays in a sit, sitting in the middle of the aisle of the bus. He's looking around intently, and the bus moves.
Go, good boy.
As the bus moves, he puts his head on the seat.
That's it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I know, baby.
The dog is playing tug with the man
Oh, good tug.
with a rope
good
toy.
boy. Get him. Get him. Get him, Hendrix. Get him.
The dog wins the toy.
Oh,
He's
good
wagging his tail.
job.
He picks it up and brings it back,
puppy.
wanting another
Good
game.
boy.
The dog is lying on her lap. It's the next day. Someone's just had a free run. He is asleep. Oh, we've got to say goodbye to Hendrix today. Chris has already said bye because he was off to work and he was not happy. But this big boy's gotta go. You gotta go and be a big guy dog. Yeah. He's like, my play friend just left and I'm not happy about it. But I want to sleep anyway because I was bouncing around at the wreck with some friends this morning and now I'm tired. Yeah, baby. Oh, bless him. Bless him. Silly puppy. An end screen shows with the Encore Dogs logo, a subscribe button, and text saying thanks for watching.